Shefsky here, and welcome to Fantasy House. Every week I have a different guest come on and give us just give us a good time showing us around their imaginary fantasy house. Such a fun experience. You get to close your eyes, unless you're operating heavy machinery, and imagine that you're there going on your MTV Cribs style walkthrough of people's Adventure Time cartoony houses. And it's I don't know, it's delightful. I always leave it feeling like excited and inspired. So I hope it does the same for you guys. This episode is brought to you by me, Jon Shefsky, the only realtor in Southern California. But don't worry, I'll make time for you. If you want to talk about houses, condos, multifamily apartment buildings, buying, selling, you're just curious about stuff, you want to know when I can help your neighbor sell their house so I can get them out of your life, hit me up. Send me a email at fantasyhousepodcast@gmail.com, or you could go on Instagram. We got a Fantasy House Instagram, or you could go on the Jon Shefsky Instagram, JONSHEFSKY. Right, guys? This episode, like all of them, is a great time, and it's inspiring, and it's fun. And my guest is super cool. She's a writer of badass movies for the Hallmark Network, and she's a comedian and just like super creative. So I don't know. It's just going to be a fun time. Jenna Brister. It's going to be a good one. In the words of the great Angelo Bowers, let us do this.
Won't you take it on and over to your fantasy house? You're the hostess with the mother's where you get in your fantasy house. Get money for expensive construction. The only limit is your imagination.
I had a long journey to here too. I was a celebrity nanny for a long time.
Oh.
And I do a lot of stand-up and storytelling and from that world. But my process is, I'm actually writing a Hallmark romantic comedy right now. My process is very weird because they're so cheesy, and they should be. But I usually have to watch something really intense and then write for a couple hours. So I've been binging like The Devil Next Door, that like Nazi hunter show on Netflix.
Oh,
yeah, and like, for some reason it like keeps me tethered to the earth. I don't know why. It's very strange. So I like watch something and just kind of try to get in a certain mindset, you know, and then I'll go write for a couple hours, then take the dog for a walk, stuff like that. But
that's so funny.
I write from home.
That's so funny that you're watching like Nazi hunting movies. But, like, do people know this when they're watching a Lifetime original or a Hallmark movie? They're like, "This is so sweet and cheesy." And they're like, "She was watching them hunt the Nazis." Like it's
weird. It's weird.
That's your process, though. That's cool.
Yeah. So try to not go too nuts, because you know when you just I write from home, and it's easy to just close off. Yeah. So that's what I find. I'm in week 3 right now. I got one due next week, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to come here.
Because it was a break or what?
Yeah, it's a break.
Get me out of this office house.
Get me out of here. Yeah. So
what got you started in writing?
Probably, I guess, early on stand-up. I started doing stand-up pretty young and writing my own jokes and stuff like that.
When did you start doing stand-up?
Technically 22 at clubs in New York, but I was president of every school I've been to, elementary through high school.
I didn't even know they had presidents. What?
Oh yeah, I ran for president only because I wanted to talk into a microphone.
That's what the movie Election is all about.
Yes.
Being a president there at school. Yeah. Okay.
So I did school government only because I wanted to talk on a microphone in front of large groups. And so I had no interest in politics, but I was like, I would do sketches. I would write funny sketches where I'd be in a Batman suit. And so I had this weird thing. I grew up in Seattle, I was saying. And so that was kind of my origin, where I loved being up in front of people. And then I had at summer camp one summer, my director was like, you should do comedy, like move to Portland, go do, I think I did comedy sports. So that was like kind of how I started doing that. But then, I did UCB in New York and Groundlings out here. And that kind of got me more seriously writing that kind of stuff, joke writing. And then I just secretly was writing scripts, and then I think I sold like my 12th, and then became a Lifetime thriller. Yeah.
And you were just like, all right.
So I always write comedy, but then the one that I sold and got made is a thriller. It's aired probably 6 or 7 times all over Europe. It's still on replay. It's called Killer Twin.
Okay.
Or it's called The Deadly Double. That's right. Because they wanted an evil parent trap.
Yeah.
Because stolen identity is big in Europe. They're like, we need stolen. It's either like cheerleader slashers, something like that. But they're like, stolen identity is hot right now.
The theme of stolen identity. Okay.
They change all the time. So like now it's back to teen thrillers, like on campus murders. But at the time that I was pitching to them, they were like, we want stolen identity. We want an evil parent trap. And I was like, I got this. So it is like basically that.
So do you think because if you write comedy and like that's you come to this world of entertainment as a comedian, but then what's getting picked up and what you're like, what I'm making my money off of is this thriller stuff.
Yes.
Do you think it's because like you're so like is it possible that you want control of your comedy stuff? It's like it's got to be perfect, but then like the other stuff is like, oh, I'll just write this like thriller I can write, and then it's like that had some sort of grace to it, like like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that
John,
project that you relax on, that you're like, that's the painting that actually turned out well, and it's the one I didn't give a shit about at first.
Wow, I have been on and off in therapy for years, and no one has been able to act. That's 100% it.
Are you riffing with me?
I'm 100. I didn't even think about that, but you're right. It's not precious to me. Or like the comedies I'm writing, because I have a couple others in development. Those are so much more precious to me.
Yeah,
and I would care. But you're right. It's almost as if I'm disconnected from it because I have the excuse to be like, well, I'm not a thriller writer technically, you know.
And so you relax. You're like, oh, I'm not white knuckling every turn on this. I'm just. Yeah, cool. I'll throw that in there. You want me to change it? Sure, I don't give a shit about this kind of stuff. I'll change it. Yeah.
And writing comedy is so hard because there's cleverness to it. There's jokes, there's setups, there's all that. But in thrillers, it really is like you got to kill someone on page 30 because, you know, they air on TV. And so it's murder. And so kind of same for you, like accidentally falling into this thing where I'm like, the notes I would get back, they're like, we need you to run someone off the road. You gotta, because you can't show blood also. So all the murders are poisonings, or you shove someone off the top of a parking garage.
It's so weird.
But you're right. There is that disconnect for me where there's no pressure to write a joke. There's no pressure to write this character that you really like identify with. You know, it's more like, all right,
you want that?
Let's murder some peeps.
Cool.
You know, yeah.
Let's murder some peeps.
Right. But but it's fun because you do get to turn. I guess I get to turn that side off. I mean, my first early drafts had so many jokes. Because it's fun to write jokes in them. And they were like, you need to take all this out. And I was like, you're right. I'm sorry. And so then I would do a joke annihilation pass and be like, all right. But it's fun.
Keep it. You're like, I'll just copy this file and save it for myself.
Exactly. Katherine Heigl will do this.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, but it's fun. It's writing is so fun. It's very, very therapeutic. Like you were saying before, like I have note files in my phone too, because I'll wake up in the middle of the night thinking of a joke for stand. Like I'm doing West Side Comedy tonight. Or by the time you guys are listening to this, don't go tonight because I don't know when this is coming out.
Someone's driving right now.
Jenna Brister's going to be there. Yeah. And I'll wake up in the morning having written notes, and I'm like, what is this nonsense? But I had to write it. Like I the other day I woke up in the night and I was like, aliens are much more cool than we give them credit. Like that was my genuine thought in the middle of the night, and I was like, it's true. In movies, we always show them to be these like crazy, you know, like in Signs. I'm like, what if they're just really cool?
Yep.
Like Casper or E.T. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think about that, but then the next day I'm like, oh, wow, I'm nuts.
I think it's funny how it's just not to go on too long of a tangent. Stop me if I do. But it's your job. As the guest on the podcast, you have a little bit of responsibility.
Yes.
Stop me if I go on a tangent. But dude, that is always a pet peeve of mine, is how the lack of creativity with aliens in article. I'm like, it's 2020. The Mars Attack thing was one of my favorites. It's still a great movie.
It is.
But it's like, you really think that the fucking flying saucer doesn't have nanorobots that are going to fix it when you shoot an earthling gun at it? Like, they flew all the way here from some other star system. Yeah. You think that they don't have a little bit, like they're not going to just like take over? They're going to shoot missiles at us. Yeah. They're going to shoot lasers and be in giant ships. You're like, they would just develop tiny little robots that we can't even see to eat us up real quick. Like it's, but I guess I wouldn't be a good, as a writer, you could say it's not a good screenplay.
But maybe that is like just, they're so cool, you know?
Yeah. But
lack of creativity.
Right?
It's true.
But then again, it's like, whose fault is it? It's just like, you're just trying to get the consumers to watch your movie, and you're like, okay, this is what they want to see. Big explosion.
Yeah, totally.
Green thing with ugly eyes.
Yes.
Big explosion. All right, here you go.
Yeah.
You're just
Do you believe in aliens?
I think that they could exist. I mean,
totally.
Like,
I feel like they
there's
could.
nothing.
I'm like that. Do you have any other conspiracy theories that you think are real? Because I believe in Bigfoot fully.
Do you? Are you fully Bigfoot?
I'm fully Bigfoot. I don't see why not. I grew up in Seattle. That's where they filmed Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
So as a kid, I remember being like, this is very realistic. This is a documentary, 1993. And I just don't see why not. I feel like we might have found bones. I don't know. I don't know how big their community is, but
the community of Bigfoots.
Yeah.
There's your
I
next.
think the older I get, the more I'm like, fuck it. The community of Bigfoots. That's my next rom-com. Yeah. Two of them fall in love, from rival forests. But I think, I don't know. I don't see why not the older we get.
I mean, I guess there could be. It just feels like for something to survive and then like not get picked up by any the conspiracy stuff that I would say, I don't even know if it's conspiracy. The mysteries that I would say are realistic. I was like, you ever watch or listen to Graham Hancock?
No.
Okay,
What's that?
he's been on Rogan like 10 times, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But he wrote this book. He's written a couple books, and he's just like, he's a really, really cool dude that has kind of challenged like Egyptology, like the timelines. He's gone back and done a bunch of math and proved like a lot of the mainstream Graham Hancock.
Okay, I'm writing this down.
And he could be totally wrong about stuff. He seems pretty humble too. He's like, he seems to admit he could be wrong about stuff, but he's gone back and done like calculations of like where the pyramids are, where the stars align, and like a lot of interesting coincidences.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he might be onto something. That guy, he's actually I think he's made some of the mainstream. Is Egyptologist the right term even?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
I think he's made a few of them go like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe we should look into that.
That's cool.
And I'm like, that's badass. Sometimes the weird guy in the back of the room that raises their hand that everyone's like, oh, it's him again.
Yeah.
Sometimes that dude or chick is right.
Yes.
Or brings up a good point.
There was something with dinosaurs too years ago.
Feathers.
Feathers, hot pink. And T-Rex had tiny arms, so he was a vegetarian. He has long teeth because he would strip branches of leaves.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So someone like
I didn't even know
the
that.
Goldblum of real life paleontology was like T-Rex was not a meat eater. I don't know what's going on now if they've accepted that across the board, but I was like,
he was
that
just
is
a
so
big
interesting.
vegan asshole.
He's a big vegan asshole who like
a
probably
picky dick at your barbecue.
Yes, who's like, is this grains? You know, but isn't that fascinating that the arms that they figured out the size and like the weight that his tail would be? There's no way he would be able to
comfortably lean down and grab. Interesting.
Isn't that crazy?
Although he has pretty strong quads if you saw Jurassic Park.
Oh,
he can squat down and grab some stuff.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, you
totally.
might be right. That's interesting.
Isn't that wild?
The feather thing trips me out that still they haven't like. I thought that was agreed in the science community, and still you'll see like newer stuff get made. They're like, how come these dinosaurs don't have feathers?
Yeah.
Like, why are we? What is it? Perpetrating or what? Why are we perpetuating the myth?
Of
them being just like lizard texture. If they
or that they were
feathers.
camouflage. Who says they were? They could be hot pink with polka dots.
That'd be
we
kind of
don't
fun.
know. Or rainbow.
That'd be a cool T-shirt.
Isn't that wild? We just don't know.
Yeah.
And unless they get the DNA from the mosquito and that amber cane, and we will never know. Actually, did you see? Speaking of people, I was a nanny for Lord Ern.
Okay.
And they're bringing so they're bringing back the OG cast. Do you see that? Goldblum, Sam Neill
for another Jurassic Park.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Isn't that wild? I think they're shooting this spring.
Badass.
Yes. I'm pumped.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the last couple Jurassic Parks.
Oh, I mean, they're not even. Yeah.
They're just not.
I know Chris Pratt's listening, so it's just hang it up, pal.
Chris, please don't say you're not going to be a guest on Fantasy House now. I'm still with you from the Office days. Or not
yes,
the Office, Parks and Rec.
Yeah, but they were in an office.
A double insult.
He's awesome.
Yeah,
but I think I saw one of them on a plane, and I was like, I don't know what's going on anymore. With that,
who'd you see on a plane?
The Jurassic Park movies. It was like Lost World.
I thought you meant like Chris Pratt or one of the people from Parks and Rec. Like, did you see Aziz Ansari on a plane?
Yes, right. Like, hey, so Pratt, about this. Are you a plane movie watcher? Do you watch movies on planes?
Well, since I have kids, it's the only place I've watched movies lately.
Yes. How old are your kids?
3 and 1.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, adorbs.
What are they? Male, female, or?
We haven't decided yet.
Cool. Yes, they'll decide when they're. Yeah, exactly. They'll tell
That's
you
the new
when they
shitty
can talk.
parenting advice. Let them decide when they're 4.
Yes, exactly.
They'll be fine.
2 boys. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
They've seen a couple things on TV. We mostly just let them watch Classical Baby, which is on HBO, and it's just awesome. It's like classical music with like animation, and then they have a poetry version, which is really good. And they have a dance an art version. So there's like 3 different like half-hour episodes that just. Cool. So that's pretty much what they'll watch. Yeah. I let my 3-year-old watch a little like Finding Dory and a couple things, but
yeah. Coco.
Dude,
oh my
so
gosh.
Good.
Yeah.
We'll see that at my sister-in-law's house when they're watching it. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that one.
Oh, it's so good.
I like that too about kids. I have nephews, similar age gap as your sons, and it's so fun because they are down to rewatch stuff.
Yeah.
Like we'll watch Coco, and they're like, "Can we watch it again?" I'm like, "Yeah, we can watch it again."
You really want to get it down?
I love Coco.
You really want to predict every beat.
Yes, exactly.
I know what's coming.
I'm down for this.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
I figure that's probably the best you can do, because they're not supposed to see TV before they're like 4 or 5 or something like that. And you're just like, dude, with the first one, it was like easy to be like, let's just keep them entertained. We'll keep trying stuff and going doing stuff. They'll barely see any TV unless they're at family event. And then you have the second one and you're like, all right, these kids are watching TV.
Yes.
I just got to go to the bathroom. And then before you know it, you're like, okay, we're American zombies. What am I going to do?
And that's how I was raised that way too. I mean, I watched so much TV.
Oh yeah.
Growing
Look
up.
at us. We're podcasting.
We're perfect. Yeah.
We got out of the house today. We're fine.
Yes,
You're a writer. I'm a realtor. Everything works out.
Everything works out.
Could I have been 20% smarter and happier? Yes. But I watched good stuff. But
me too.
I watched a lot of Mr. Rogers. I watched Sesame Street. And then eventually, you watch, I don't know, you see some. I don't even think it's the content either. I think that's something to do with your development where you're just not supposed to be
retinas.
tuning into watching stuff. And just,
the screen stuff,
but
totally.
what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Everything's a screen these days.
Yeah. We're going to get fake eyeballs anyways in 10 years. It's all good.
You think what's your vision for the future? What's your positive vision for the future?
Speaking of vision, 2020. We're almost there. Perfect vision.
yeah.
Right? I think I'll probably end up needing LASIK. I just finally got those. I know you guys can't, listeners, I don't have glasses, but I got those ones for.
Can confirm.
Because the computer, the blue light glasses.
So you wear them when you're typing?
Yeah, because I noticed that I just got them like a year ago. Because now that I'm, making money by staring at a screen, I was like, I would get headaches, and I couldn't go for very long, and so I read about these glasses, and I was like, all right. It was like a Sky Mall. I was like, buying these.
And they work?
Yeah, they do
great.
work. Yeah.
I didn't have those. So before I started real estate, I was editing. My last job was editing.
Yeah.
And it was a great job. But sometimes I would spend 6-8 hours in front of a screen, and I would feel like sick afterwards.
Yes.
Like I would honestly feel like hungover, like just sick, and I'd be like, oh God, like something's bad about this.
Totally.
That light's not good for you, right?
Yeah.
Just blasting at your face and the kind of focus that you have. And we're supposed to be out hunting, riding our
Gathering.
bikes,
Yes.
gathering,
Telling
high-fiving
stories
friends.
around a fire.
That, right?
Yeah.
Whale
I just went straight
watching.
tribal in my brain. I was like, yep, this is it.
Well, if you're going to go primal, right? We're supposed to be running from things, running to things. Yeah. Laying down next to a fire, healing from whatever wild animal bit us.
Exactly.
I don't know. Right? Getting the flu. I don't know what happens in the old days. It doesn't seem like it was an easy time.
Like Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Camping, but not being able to go back to your house after you're like, all right, we're done camping.
Right.
You don't get to.
I camped so much growing up. I cannot camp anymore. This is a divisive opinion.
You can't camp anymore?
I'm really ashamed by how much. I mean, I like glamping. I'm cool with like a cabin in the woods.
Yeah.
But I think we were a camping family growing up. We would do hotels sometimes, but I slept outside in the cold so many times.
That you're like, nope.
As a grown up, I just
Done.
can't. It doesn't get. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad because my friends are like, let's go camping. I'm like,
No, that's
hell
cool.
no.
Call me when you want to go to the
swim-
Marriott with our dogs.
Yes, I'll swim in the river. I'll be at the hotel. I'll be at the Marriott.
I feel similar to that too. I don't think there's anything wrong. Dude, you're in civilization, dude. We're so spoiled anyways.
Yeah.
I do like, I love camping. I shouldn't say I like. That would be an understatement. I love camping. I don't even know how to say it. I'm down to car camp.
Yes.
I'm definitely down to
RV camp, love.
Oh, like in a van or what?
Or like a mini Winnie, like in an RV. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
When I've done it, I've done it with friends who have those. I just car camping, not meaning sleeping in my car at a campsite, but like to those who are listening, like, what does he mean? Sleeping in his car?
Yeah.
Like car camping means like you're not backpacking somewhere. You might have like a blow up mattress that you're putting in your tent. You can easily just run to your car. You're probably on a campgrounds where you can go, to the actual restroom.
You can charge stuff and
But I as much as I love that, like, the older I get, the more I'm not like I'm more ready to go home at a certain point than when I was younger, and it would be like, this is the best. I just want to live in Joshua Tree.
Yes.
But now by like the third or fourth day, I'm like, I want a hot shower.
My back hurts. Yeah. I need a pillow.
I want a hot I want my sound machine.
Yes. Yeah. Isn't that funny?
I don't want to cook my own meal.
Yes.
I want civilization. That's one of the things where I also like when you talk about dystopic future, I'm like, man, like you realize when you camp how important like the simple things in life are. Hot showers, comfortable shelter, when you can call 911 and an emergency service will come to you. Like that, don't take that shit for granted, folks.
No.
That's the important stuff.
Yeah.
Totally. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
What's your vision for the future though? What do you think? We got to go back to that.
My vision for the future, I think,
like say like 20 years from now, what do you think?
I feel like I think everything is gonna, the world as we know it will like blow up. Not blow up. Sorry, that was a great. I was like, it'll blow up. No, I think that we're gonna slowly kind of get back to. I mean, farming. I think that there's so much distrust with so many different industries, like agriculture. The meat industry is messed up. Not a fan.
Yeah, it's
even though I
super
do eat
interesting.
meat, yeah, but it's
I
like
eat meat as well,
the greenhouse. Yeah, where it's like you don't need 1 billion cows in one place. It's like I think we're gonna go back to communities. Like right now, I live in Pasadena, so I'd love if there were like just a couple farms. I go to the farmers market, for example, like that kind of stuff. Even though I do also go to Whole Foods twice a week.
Yep.
Because I'm high maintenance.
Twice a week. Wow.
I don't buy that
Really
much.
dropping that fanciness
Yeah.
on us here.
I won't like load up. I'll be like, I'll get some sushi and like some crackers.
Yeah.
But so I like both, but I'm also down to do just farmers market. I think we're going to just be more into knowing where everything comes from. Have you been to Vermont?
No, but I've been to Virginia, close enough in
So close.
in the linguistically.
Exactly. So I went to this place. It was in what was it called? Burlington, Vermont.
Oh yeah, where the coat factory originated. Yes.
Yeah. And there was like Ben and Jerry's, everything. It was like I think also Magic Hat. That beer's there. But I went into this restaurant and they had because I was there for a snowmobiling excursion. Yeah, my boyfriend at the time got me that
so
for
good
Christmas,
right now.
and I was like, "You're a hero." So we went to this restaurant, and they had a map next to the menu showing all the farms where all the eggs came from, the bread, the meat, and I was like, "That's cool." I never seen anything like that. I was living in New York. No one cared. Or not that I didn't care, but
Life's too
I
busy
liked
to
that.
care about that. Yeah.
I was like, oh, that is cool to see where it's from.
Yep.
You know, like I'm a major wino. I love knowing where my wine's coming from.
Yeah.
And cheese too. It's fun. I don't know.
Have you ever seen that Portlandia episode where they're asking what the name of the chicken is
Yes.
in the restaurant?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's like his name's Kevin, isn't it? Yeah. Wait, Will Forte's in that one, isn't he?
Is he in that? No, Jason Sudeikis is in it.
Oh,
I
is
think.
it Sudeikis?
Will Forte might also be in it.
I think I want to say he's at the. I could be
Forte
wrong.
alert.
Forte alert.
He might be.
We'll put it in the show notes. But yeah, where they ask, they're like, "Where's this?" And then they go visit him. They see his profile.
Oh, yeah.
I love Portlandia.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I went to college in Oregon, and it's such a documentary.
Oh, dude. Well, that
Oregon's
just totally
dope.
reminded me of that. I'm just like, I want to know where he's from. And
Yeah,
just like,
I think we'll
Fred
still be
Armisen.
alive.
I hope
think
so, yeah.
I think everything's going to be fine. I think it's going to balance itself out. I think we're too busy here, at least in America. I think we'll learn to chill out in 20 years and maybe take more vacations. Or not
yeah.
more
I hope
vacations.
so.
Sorry, take more vacations. More like in Italy and Spain. You know, when they rest
they
during the
live.
day. Yeah,
They
like
live. Yeah,
totally.
totally.
I would love to see that, or like adopt more of that mindset instead of like wake up, go, achieve.
right?
Yes.
For what? And then die. I mean, because we live in my theory is that we live in like a Romanistic kind of society right now where people are like obsessed with their ego more than their own consciousness. They're like, I have to be remembered for these things. And it's like, you won't be here to be remembered. Someone else will be remembering you, but you're not going to be like satisfied. It's a very Roman based on like Greek mythology. Like you're going to be standing in the clouds, like with your arms. I'm very satisfied. They remember what I did. And it's like, you were willing to die for that. Your consciousness, though, won't be here for that. Are there other things you could do? And
Yeah,
I think it's unhealthy at times because, of course, you want to achieve and be who you are.
Yeah.
Whatever, right?
Yeah, definitely. There's things you want to accomplish.
Yeah,
for
but
your own
at the cost of
fulfillment.
I didn't care about the environment. I didn't care about people. I didn't care about anything. But my life was a trophy. I look great. You know, it looks great on paper.
Totally.
And that's bad for you internally. And then, obviously, look at our society. There's a lot of problems.
Yeah.
It's great, though. We do have a lot of great stuff, but it's definitely, I don't know. I'm trying to be Jocko Willink.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, folks. Do what you're going to do. Just have a good time and try to make a better future. That makes me excited. And listeners, just so you know, I didn't tell our guests to come here with a positive view of the future. She just could tell. She walked in. She's like, he's fragile. I will not give him the Blade Runner future that I was thinking of while driving here. Thank you.
Yes,
You're so sweet.
you're very welcome. Of course.
Okay, so what's the geographic location of your fantasy house?
Oregon coast,
Oregon coast.
Cannon Beach, and I guess reference everyone will probably recognize Goonies, Haystack Rock. Yeah, you know.
I haven't been to the Oregon coast, so when someone says Oregon coast, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm holding up the medallion. I'm looking for all the things to match up.
That's
We're here.
exactly the town. My family would rent a cabin every summer. We have reunions there. So I grew up going there all the time. And that's where I want to die.
Is it
eventually.
as magical as it looks in the Goonies and feels in the tone of the Goonies? Where it just feels right.
It is. It's this gem. Oregonians know about it. And I'm nervous that it's going to get the lid blown off. So if you're listening
Because
to this
of
now,
this podcast.
yes, please just be gentle. No, it really is that magical. If you guys are looking for another Pacific Northwest trip with
That's where
with
to
your
go.
lady, go to Cannon Beach. It's an hour outside Portland. So that's where to lead into my fantasy house.
Yeah.
So it's located there, even though in my fantasy, I don't necessarily live in Oregon all the time.
Yep.
Anytime I'm ready to go home, a hot air balloon magically lowers
Yes.
to my locale.
Wherever you are.
Wherever it is. The basket or the gondola just touches down, and that's how I get home from anywhere.
Yep.
And so it takes me back to the Oregon coast, and then so we just walk through this. Can I talk through my fantasy
imagine
house?
we're watching MTV Cribs and you're
Okay.
like, you're showing at the film crew.
What's up, guys? What's up, John? I'm going to show you around the place. It's going so this. So we're in the hot air balloon, and it's pretty quick. It's a quick ride, scenic. Even though, have you ever been in a hot air balloon?
No.
Oh, me neither. I really want. That's why it's in part of my fantasy. I've never been in one. I want to so bad. Okay,
It better be on your bucket list.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. Make it a priority, girl.
I need to. It's in. I think the Albuquerque, right, or Santa Fe has
The New Mexico, the festival with all the
I need to do that.
millions of balloons in
Yes.
there, or
Yeah.
thousands. Yeah, this is
2020.
This is your version of you're making yourself accountable now to all of us,
I am.
me and the Fantasy House listeners.
2020
this
perfect
time
vision.
next year is a little Fight Club scene.
Deal.
You're fucking be in a hot air balloon by this time next year.
Deal.
Okay. Cool.
Seriously. Okay.
Cool.
Yay. Awesome. Okay. Cool.
We've accomplished something.
So I get to the entrance. So the hot air balloon takes me down to the entrance of my house, which is a shark's mouth. You know those archways at the aquariums where it's just the tongue is a trampoline?
Yeah.
And so I trampoline through a shark's mouth.
Like a carclodon, megalodon,
Yeah,
whatever.
the
Those
megalodon.
giant, like great whites.
Yeah.
That's
So I go
hilarious.
through. That's the entrance, and then my front yard is. You might know this, right? It's like Bigfoot Rapids, is what it's usually called.
Yeah. Is that Magic Mountain? Or?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
used to
so
ride
it's
that
a
when I was kid.
Bigfoot rapid. So I go through the shark's mouth, and then there's an inner tube, and I strap in, and then my whole front yard is just the Bigfoot Rapids waterway,
Dude,
and
I
there's
love it.
and there's automatic those like bombs that go off. That's so cute.
Yeah.
And so 'cause that ride to me, that was the funnest.
So
thing.
good for summertime.
Yes, because it's like controlled whitewater rapids.
Yep.
You know, and so
Have you gone whitewater rafting?
Never, nothing as aggressive as even this ride.
You won't even go camping anymore. How can
Right,
I get you
exactly.
whitewater rafting? You're like, no, it deals with camping.
I need to.
Dude, you
I
have
would
to.
do
It's
that.
so much fun.
I've done like some casual, and it was a blast. It was a blast.
I've done it once and it was outstanding. It was so exciting and
Yeah.
fun.
So cool.
A little scary
I did like
sometimes.
a guided one.
Yeah,
I had a
same
guide.
here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't
It
just
was
like,
awesome. Yeah.
give me
Go
that
for it.
raft.
Yeah.
I got the brains to
I'm
do
good.
this, the balls to, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I was like, I needed a professional, please.
Yes,
It was
yes.
actually tandem whitewater rafting.
Oh.
I'm just joking.
That'd be so funny.
You thought
Could
it was
imagine?
real?
I was like, oh my God.
Strapped to the guys, I'll paddle. You're like, yes, sir. Just looking back over your shoulder.
So funny. And I get to the front door, and I have a butler named Chives, and he's waiting there.
Chives?
Yes, he's an enormous bodyguard type man.
Okay.
And so he's waiting there, and he has a nacho platter. In my fantasy, he just has a nacho platter, and so we have a couple of nachos, ketchup on the day, and then I slip on a robotic mermaid tail. Now, here's where it also part of my past is as a celeb nanny. I was a nanny for Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Signed
Were
a
you really?
Yeah, I signed a
Oh
massive
my
NDA.
God.
Lived at the house, so I've seen it all. So in my fantasy, I kind of pictured his house,
Yeah.
but except there's also some waterways. And A Splash is one of my favorite movies growing up. I fully believed
love
that was.
Splash.
Oh, it's
Oh, yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
So
it was
when
just on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I watched it.
It's amazing, and it holds up.
Oh, it's
and
such a great movie.
As a kid, I would put salt. I would steal salt from the kitchen and put it in the bathtub, hoping that fins would form.
Oh.
But then I always my dad would, they'd be like, "Time for bed," and I just thought I didn't have enough time
Yeah.
in the bath.
You had excuses as to why the magic didn't
I was like,
happen
well,
there?
God, in the movie, I guess she gets to be in there for half hour. So Elon made me this mermaid tail. So there's waterways also in my house, and it's not that I have gills. I'm not underwater. I'm just kind of like, it's almost picture a lap pool. There's just like waterways around the place,
Yeah.
and I'm just kind of flipping around.
Okay.
And it's fun.
Kind of a relaxing way to just cool off and
Yeah.
go into a flow pattern.
Yes, exactly. And I picture all the hallways in my house too, kind of like the tunnels in Super Mario Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a chamber that I can shoot up in. And then where I spend most of my time is the home theater. This is a very important part of my fantasy house. There's giant lazy boy chairs, recliners, old timey popcorn machine, and of course an infinite Rolodex of stuff. Always playing.
Oh, yeah.
Never
you're
the
not in there.
news.
Like you walk in, movies or trailers,
Yeah.
movies are playing. Or
It's always
you said never the news.
never the news.
Yeah,
The
of
news
course
is not allowed. No, there's the
You want to live a
news.
healthy life? There's an
Yes.
old John Prine song where it's like,
Yes.
throw out your TV, throw out your paper, move to the country, eat a lot of peaches. You're like, oh, he's talking about not watching too much news.
Yes, exactly.
That's
Because it's
what I got out of
depressing.
it. Yeah.
100%. And it's just like Nancy Meyers movies and like Scorsese.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
so, right. And so that's the home theater. And then, there's also what I call pet zone. So an entire wing of my house is all the sheltered dogs and animals I can find.
I have to stop you for a second. I feel like you probably have the best pitch meetings. Just 'cause like, I'm so excited right now. I'm like, yes, we need that. Like, oh man, you're a killer.
This is what I do too.
It's so great.
So
pet zone. Okay, go on.
Pet
Sorry,
zone.
I had to stop.
No,
you
you're
for a
fine.
second. I
No,
was
thank
excited.
you. That's a compliment. So pet zone. So there's a fleet of dogs, and they're all just living their life. And Chives takes care of them when I'm out of town.
Yeah.
And then in the kitchen. Okay, so it's one of those kitchens from like a Nora Ephron, Nancy Meyers movie. Those, you know, those romantic comedies like The Holiday. It's complicated.
yeah.
So it's one of those just like porn for middle-aged women who love to cook. It's just that's what I want, a Nancy Meyers kitchen.
Give me
But
some
then-
surfaces on that.
Okay, yeah. So there's like an enormous granite island. There's like those iron farmhouse sinks.
Yep.
And there's just huge bay windows overlooking the ocean. Stools everywhere. Like I love hanging out in the kitchen. I love to cook. But in my fantasy house, when I'm not cooking, I have 3 private chefs, specifically a Thai chef, a sushi chef, and a Mexican chef.
Oh wow,
those are my three favorite genres of food. So they live there too.
What are they making for us today? We got just at least one dish.
Fajita platter. Quesadillas. Then sushi, like a rainbow roll, spicy salmon roll, and then
spicy salmon.
and then yellow curry with vegetables and pad thai. Those are all my favorite foods. And so they're just always there, so I can walk in and be like, "Hey, Cortez, hook me up with a quesadilla," and he's like, "You got it," I don't know. I think that'd be fun.
No, I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I just imagine I imagine you like working on something and being like, "Oh, I need something to eat," and ordering that Thai meal to your house and be like, "Ooh, time for a break," right?
Yes,
like
exactly.
Just pad Thai and
give them 20 minutes and they're just like all living their best lives. And then outside there's a sports court. I played tennis in high school.
Yeah.
I was actually ranked 3rd in Washington State, my partner, for doubles.
Look at you, overachiever.
I know. You would never know, listeners, from looking at me. I'm 5 feet tall, a monster on the court. So I have a sports court, and then the Harlem Globetrotters live there. They live in the sports court. I think they're so cool. I think
they live at your house with you. So
yes,
I do have a few employees.
I have a few employees and a basketball team.
Shefsky here. Hey, you guys know I'm not just a fantasy real estate agent. I'm a really real real estate agent. That's right. In real life in Southern California, I am a realtor. So hit me up if you want to talk about houses, condos, multifamily apartment buildings. If you want to sell a house, buy a house, fantasyhousepodcast@gmail.com or on Instagram at JONSHEFSKY. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Real estate. It's really fun. All right, guys. Back to the show.
I remember seeing the Globetrotters. Now, I can tell you this, and this is an embarrassing admission. I finally saw my first NBA game, Lakers, this last year. My dad and brother came to town, but up until then, I had only seen the Harlem Globetrotters as professional.
You thought that was basketball?
Yeah, I thought that was professional.
Somebody
as a kid, I was
take
like,
the shot.
What? Exactly. Yeah, I was like, they're really goofing around.
Really
These guys are silly.
lollygag, these guys, yeah.
So like, as a youth, that was like my most impressional. Like that was my idea of the NBA. I was like, wow, they're having a blast.
Oh, that's so funny.
So the Globetrotters are there, always putting on shows, and then what
do they do when you're not having them put on a show? Just by the way, just out of curiosity.
I think they probably hang out. I mean, they're definitely not in like a prison there, so they can.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think they probably just work out. They can watch movies in the home theater.
I was wondering if like you ever come home and like all of the all the rafts for the ride are all filled up with Harlem Globetrotters. I was like, "What's up, guys?"
They're totally on Bigfoot Rapids. Exactly. I like hit the Globetrotters.
Yeah.
I would do that too. If I was a retired Globetrotter, I'd be like, "Yeah, hell yeah, I'll go Bigfoot Rapids."
That's a good gig.
This random girl, yeah.
Did you ever see Basketball when he has like the really rich dude like showing all of his fancy stuff and like I want to say like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is like in a glass case.
Hell yes.
And he's just like retired, just chilling for the money in a case.
Absolutely.
Oh, dude. All right.
Because why not? And then the final part of this house, and the entire second floor of the home is an open air bedroom. It's my master suite, and I have
for the non-camper, huh?
Yes, for the non-camper.
You got the open air.
There's a retractable roof because it's technically in Oregon, so it's going to rain a lot.
Yep.
But it's see-through, and I picture it like the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse.
Yep.
That's just placed on top of this mansion compound. I want pulleys. I want to have to use a pulley, and then there's like a feather bed that lowers, and then a hammock if I want to sleep in a hammock.
Yeah.
I got options. I want options. I've
be
never
able to
slept in a
choose.
waterbed because I wasn't, I think those were
Born in
cool.
the
Yeah.
60s. Yeah.
That's true. I wasn't born. That's why.
Yeah.
And so, but that'd be fun to have a waterbed. And so I want all the options for sleeping.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
and then
kinda
you
fun.
can stargaze. And I also wrote down. So I can see the stars. But there's also floor heaters. Because that's the other thing. Back to circling back. I didn't even know that we would talk about this, but camping. I don't like sleeping on a cold ground.
Yep.
So there's heaters. So even though it's open air, I'm warm.
Yeah. That's
Right?
great.
Cool. Yeah. So that's my fantasy house.
I love it. Oh,
Yeah.
man. That was an awesome fantasy house. It was like going on a ride.
Yeah,
And,
right?
dude, your excitement and you're like, and then I'm going to have, oh, dude, so rad. I love everything from aesthetically from the entrance,
Thank
having
you.
the,
Bigfoot
the
Rapids.
giant shark mouth and then going into Bigfoot Rapids. I was like, cool.
yes.
And then like, oh yeah, just to chill in the, oh wait, you didn't show us any bathrooms though. You got to have a bathroom.
Oh, I do have to have, you're right.
Got to be a trip. So I need to know.
Oh, yeah,
Kitchens
okay.
and bathrooms. I don't know why.
Yes.
Where the food goes in, where the food goes out.
That makes sense.
Two important rooms.
So there's a bathroom out by the sports court.
Okay.
Because I don't want for like when I'm out there with the Globetrotters. And we can, I think that one is probably more like a camping one, maybe.
A camping bathroom?
Now that I say it, there's this. Okay, so this will be the outside one. I stayed at this Airbnb in Topanga. One of my girlfriends rented it, and they had it's like almost imagine on the cliff face, like a hole. It sounds creepy, but you just basically shit into
on-
a canyon.
Dude, that's
Fucking crazy.
awesome.
Yeah, so there's no real waste, but you're just shitting into a ravine.
Yeah, don't worry, the
It
bugs
blew
will
my
get
mind.
it. Yeah.
I was like, this is innovative and whatever. So there's one of those. But then the downstairs one.
Lord,
for
please don't
everyone-
let there be an earthquake while I'm pooping.
My gosh, that would be the worst.
What a way to die.
Right?
Oh, fuck. And then the whole thing dislodges and you fall down the canyon in your own shit with an unwiped butt as you die at the bottom.
And that's
I'm just
it.
saying,
That's
very-
rock bottom.
That's very yeah.
And then so there's a couple bathrooms. I love. Oh yeah. Okay. Good. I'm glad you brought this up because I'd completely forgotten, but I know the answer.
Okay.
So there's a main bathroom that people can use. There's the toilet, because nothing's worse also than a cold toilet seat. It's obviously
Right?
heated, but it's also a recliner. And there's screens everywhere.
recliner?
And yeah, a recliner.
The toilet?
And I think there's like one of those Minority Report screens, which
Yeah.
now is normal. And so even when you're in the bathroom, this is the one chance you have to access the news because there's no news anywhere
Yeah.
else. So if you do need to find out what's going on, you just
That's your
swipe
chance.
around while only on the bathroom. That way you limit how much of news you're ingesting.
Totally.
But then upstairs, the master bathroom is like a fancy Korean spa. There's a masseuse in there. There's a steam sauna. There's a cold
perfect.
misting room. There's one of those, like the coolest bathroom I've ever been in. And this it has like clay walls and there's seating. And then there's different shower options.
seating.
So there's showers from the top, from the side, and then a huge moon bath. And so the bathtub is out on the roof essentially.
Yeah.
On the corner of the house. And so I can just sit in the bathtub and look at the stars. Yeah, but I like the spa aspect. I love like spa bathrooms that have Kiehl's products. They have lavender scented aromatherapy towels. Like that's what I want, like a full spa bathroom.
Oh, dude.
Right?
That's awesome. I love lavender too.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite scents.
How's that sound?
So
Solid?
good. So good. So good. I want lavender honey ice cream right now from Salt and
Yes.
Straw. Speaking of Portland, right? That's
So
where they're
good.
from originally. Dude, your fantasy house is awesome.
Yeah. And the Swiss Family Robinson house has pulleys. So if I don't want to go downstairs, they can put the quesadilla on a little platter.
a little
and I
dumbwaiter
pulley
kind of
up.
pulley thing.
Yeah, I think that's so cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
So that's it. That's my house.
That's it.
Thanks for coming, MTV Cribs, and yeah. I don't know how they sign off those
Dude,
tours.
I think that's it. Like,
That's
you
it.
just
Yeah.
go like later.
Thanks
and
for.
then
we get in the Bigfoot Rapids.
dude. And
Right.
that's how the show
Fuck yeah.
closes. Oh
Fuck yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Dude. So I don't know. That was just awesome. Such a killer
Thank
house. I was gonna
you.
say, what's your ideal day in that house? But I was like,
Yeah.
I think we know what your ideal
Yeah.
day is. Quesadillas, rapids,
Yes.
movies,
Chilling.
That's
That's the
badass.
life. Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh my gosh.
kill it.
Thank you for having me.
Ah.
This is so fun.
I'm so glad. That's the whole point. Is I want to entertain our listeners and uplift them, and then for the people involved that are actually making it, I want it to like inspire and be like a good creative time. So
Yeah. So 20 years from now, maybe if we do get a chance to make our fantasy houses.
that's
you know?
it.
Yeah. You made the pod.
I feel like, dude, even if we can't physically make these things in 20 years, dude, to be able to like VR, you should be able to design your own fantasy house in VR in like 20
100%.
years because they're getting really good at VR.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, and at some
Yeah.
point you'll be able to be like, well, I just live in a regular cul-de-sac, but then I go, and I'm in my fantasy.
Yeah.
So
And you can fall asleep looking at the stars, but with the goggles on.
Yep.
I'm in.
Just sitting in your bathtub inside, but you're like, I'm in my moon bath.
I'm in my moon bath with my mermaid tail. Yeah.
That's right. That's so totally right. Where can listeners find you?
I'm on Twitter at Jenna Brister, and then Insta. Actually, that's where I post most stuff. Jenna.Brister.
How do you spell it? Just so they know.
JENNA.BRISTER. Jenna Brister.
Jenna Brister.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing
Thank you
this.
for having me, John. This was awesome.
Such a good time. You guys, if this is your first time listening, hit the subscribe button, give us a 5-star review, or give us whatever star you think we deserve, hopefully 5, and even write us a review. I love to read the reviews. Instead of reading the newspaper, I read the reviews, and it brightens my day. If you've been listening for a while and you're already subscribed, hit the share button, dude. Sharing is caring. Hook it up. Hit the share button. And if you've never left us a review, which I know some of you haven't, leave us a review. It'd be a great Hanukkah Christmas present for me this year. All right, guys. Be silly and have fun. #blessed guest.